Hi all! Today we're talking about the differences between UK houses and German houses. First of all, I want to tell you, this is something that I noticed immediately when I moved to the UK. It's something I've never seen in Germany. However, if it does exist, please comment below. It's when you want to lock a door. In most houses in the UK, you need to bring the handle up, then lock it. I had never seen that before, that a handle even goes up. But yeah, this is how it works here. The water tap is different. Now, not in every household, but it is a very British thing, British style, to have hot on one side and cold on the other. But where do you wash your hands? You're always kind of between hot, cold, like you can't really get the perfect temperature for washing your hands. I think it's funny. I think it looks very aesthetic, but it is not that practical. That's not happening in Germany. We don't do that. I need your help with this one because I have never seen a gas stove in Germany. Now, here in the UK, gas stoves are very, very common. And yes, some households also have electric stoves, but I would say that there is more gas than electric around, at least at this day and time. And in Germany, I would say, at least from my experience, it is the other way around. There is more electric cooking than, I don't know if there's any gas. Please let me know in the comments below. The next thing I want to share with you is shoes. So in Germany, I would say, generally speaking, we're a very efficient and clean country, and we do not like it when people walk around the house with shoes. I must say, I follow this to this day. Here in the UK, whenever I go anywhere, I always ask if I should take my shoes off when I come into someone's house, and if they say no, I mean, unless there is a good reason, I almost want to take them off because I think it's wrong to walk with shoes in the house. It's just really unnatural. I mean, I still, even when people say no, if the house looks really clean, I do it anyway because I feel awkward to walk with my dirty outside shoes in a clean house. No. No, not for me. But a lot of people do it. The next thing I want to share with you. Some people are really, really bothered by this. I have a friend from another country who used to live in the UK, and she was really, really bothered by the fact that you don't have a socket in the bathroom. So you can't dry your hair in the bathroom. You have to literally go to another room. Some bathrooms have sockets for shavers, but that's it. Only for shavers. It's not a normal socket. It's literally just a socket for shavers. Some people get really bothered by that. The light switch. Now, I'm not saying that this doesn't exist, but I'm just speaking of in general. I'm going to show you a picture so that you can see what I'm referring to. So this is what most light switches look like in the UK. Not all. And now I'm going to show you what most light switches in Germany look like. So the reason I'm even mentioning this is because when my friend from Germany came to visit me very recently, she looked at these light switches and she didn't know what they were. And she said to me, "What is this?" And I'm like, it's a light switch. And so this is why I'm mentioning it, because she was like, "Oh, this is what they look like here." So it was really odd to her. Now, I don't really want to talk badly about British people, and I'm sure this doesn't account for everyone, but because I have seen many British households at this point, through house sitting, through work, through friends, I've had a lot of exposure, and what I've noticed is that people here do not change their mattress as regular as people in Germany. Now, I know changing your mattress is not something you have to do every few weeks, not even every few months, but people in the UK in general keep their mattresses way longer than they should, and I think that's a bit I don't like it. And I think sometimes people forget that sleep is incredibly important. So it's not just about hygiene, it's also about back health as well. Like some of these old mattresses are just so terribly bad for your back, and this doesn't account for every British person, but I have noticed that there's a lot more old mattresses around than I have ever come across in Germany. The next one is about sockets as well. So this time not the bathroom, just general sockets. You turn them on and off, which I think is actually a really great thing because you can actually save electricity by doing that. But the the other thing is that sometimes, for example, sometimes I plug my phone in and I think it's charging, but because I forgot to actually turn it on, it's not charging. I mean, some of them are very obvious because they have a little red color, so when you see the red color then it's on, but not all of those switches have that, so that can be a bit confusing. But generally speaking, I think it's a really good thing that you have those on and off switches, which we for the most part do not have in Germany. To be honest, myself, I've never come across them. Let me know in the comments if you have ever come across those in Germany. Oh, the next thing is that a lot of houses here are not very well insulated. I don't know if people don't care as much because winters here do not get as cold in Germany. Like most places in Germany are at least fairly well insulated, but here a lot of people still have windows where, I am not kidding, if they haven't updated it, the wind is actually blowing through the windows, and when you put on the heating in winter, it's just so wasteful because the house cannot keep the heat in because the house is so badly insulated. So this is an overall problem in the UK that a lot of houses need an update, but obviously an update costs money. I could talk about this for a long time. British houses don't just need an update on insulation. There's lots of updates that are needed, but I'm not saying this is not the case in Germany ever, but generally speaking, I haven't come across this as much as I have come across this here. And when I talk to other Europeans, they say the same thing. So sorry to my British friends. So the next thing, I find this really, really annoying that mostly you cannot open the window towards you or open the window fully. And why is that even important? So if you can open a window inside towards you and fully, that means you can clean it. So it doesn't matter what floor you're on, you can clean your window from the outside and from the inside. But because most British windows, you can just do this. I'm going to show you a video. You can't clean them from the outside unless you can reach them. And obviously there are like things that you can use to reach windows, but if you're like very, very high up, then it's not as easy anymore. And just generally speaking, I do like the German windows more because it's just so much more efficient. And another thing that British people are known for is that they don't open windows. And I'm not saying all of them, but they have a habit of not opening windows. Why is that? Tell me in the comments. I really don't know why that is. I mean, this is why a lot of windows have mold. German people are known for opening the windows all the time. My mother actually goes a bit too over the top. She opens the windows so much that when I come to visit, if it's winter, I need to keep closing those windows because it's too much. But you know, you need to find somewhere in the middle. Don't just keep the windows shut or don't just keep the windows open. Find a middle ground, because it's not actually healthy to always have the window shut. It is not healthy to not have fresh air. I mean, it makes sense. And then the other thing, that in German households you find 5 different containers for recycling. Well, they're not all for recycling, but basically you find plastic, Sorry, I'm just reading this from my computer. You have a bin for plastic, you have a bin for paper, you have a bin for glass, and then, well, generally, general rubbish. But, you know, when I wrote this out for this video, I was like, wow, that's a lot of bins. But when I was in Germany, it didn't feel to me like a lot of bins at all. So I don't know if this is a fact about a house, but I just thought I include this because it is part of the household. In the UK, you have, oh, plus the food bin. So it's even more. In the UK, you have, like, not all households actually have it or do it. It depends which council you're in. But generally speaking, it should be general rubbish, food rubbish, and recycling. But recycling is, for the most part, again, depending on the council, paper, glass, and plastic. So how does that even work? I mean, how do they do that? I mean, if you know, please tell me in the comments, because how can you do recycling if you put those three things together? I really don't understand how that works. Yeah, so those were the things about houses that I noticed, differences between German and UK houses. If you have more, please comment below. I'm really interested to hear that. And I hope I didn't speak too fast because I can feel the coffee that I drank this morning. I feel like I'm a bit too... I think maybe I shouldn't have had the last coffee. Anyway, I need to get out and go to work now. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos. And I see you in my next one. Bye!